All right, everyone. So we here and welcome to the Blackline Mafia podcast, episode 1. Today, this is about this is about the DEVS, how they dropped the ball. How about the the story, how they dropped this the story on us and write about it. write to us, I think, back in January. I think within January 24th, 2024 or 2023. I'm not sure. But if I did the math, I think it was 2024. If somebody can correct me, can correct me to that. What was the part-time stories information was released? I mean, to my knowledge, I think it was released 2024, back in January 2024. Because the territory we work with the territory we work was released in 2025 or 2026. So I think the territory we work was at the end of December 31st. We're up to January 1st or 2nd. Before we discuss how the devs dropped the ball on everything, we just get let's talk about the previous updates. How they did a good job on previous updates of dropping the fire content. Version 2 with the praise wanted. Version 2 the suggestion how they would they want it. With the actual wanted more content. Business or Easter, and mafia's mafia faction. Like in the game itself. What was it? Mafia's Definitive Edition. Yeah, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Right? What's his name? I forgot. What's his name that you played in the Definitive Edition and previous Mafia games. I forgot. So please, nobody tell hear that. What's his name from the previous Mafia games? I think I still had it on my channel. Was it Dio or no, not Dio? It started with something. I don't know. I got hooked up on Google or something. I got hooked up on Google. What's his name? And the other guy's name on the 5th edition, and you pray as. And we gotta get back to Godfather. Godfather of Mom Wars. That's the main line stream of the that I did for fresh content. As, as you as you guys hear, I am discussing Black Pride stuff. So how discussing Black Pride stuff, y'all. How the devs dropped the story and lied about us to it, and give it a story here in 2026, and we're all pissed off about it. So, yeah, like, what was it? Oh, yeah, the city districts, the mafia factions. What was it? The mafia factions that we got was few a few years ago, right? If I'm not mistaken, that mafia faction was released a few years ago, and for part one, but we didn't get part two. Everybody was pissed. We didn't get part two. I was pissed. The whole Black Prime Mafia was pissed. The server people was pissed. Nobody didn't show up. Nobody. There was no players. It was very. There was very nobody in the game and in the servers on the client. Like nobody. So what's breaking down? We have Richard Rubber. We have MD816. We have the other guy on Instagram that who won the story, and you know we all want the story, and the whole thing is flop. The whole big hype. So when did I started Sparkline? Back in the beta days, before I started streaming. The first video I did, I dropped. Go back. It was back before. It was the first video I did was back in 2023 of the first month, with the mafia was able to take over territories. Yes. Definitely I remember. I definitely remember. I definitely I strongly praise and I do recommend the devs bring back the territories for the mafia, because they do capture territories in the game, but they do capture city districts by stealing cars, robbing banks, robbing stores, and doing team deathmatch and outside. So they can't do capture territory stuff outside the game. But the outside faction themselves, like the returning gang from San Andreas, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, the what's it called, the yellow gang, that Carl Johnson, hey, and Big Smoke, and Caesar, Free, Kendall, and what's it called? Oh yeah, the Los Santos Lagos. And the both are basically the ballers, so basically what I'm trying to say is that maybe the base has the Twizzle Boys or the ballers. The Los Santos Lagos are the yellow gang, or the Los Santos Lagos yellow gang that will attack you. They are the hostile ones. Immediately, they will attack you on sight, kill you on sight. But for the mafia, the mafia or yeah, they have a lot of allowance with the civic movement faction. Yes, yes. And the enemy is the ex-race fascist West cartel, sided with the civic movement faction to take down the ex-race faction cartel. And also they have another faction aside with them, the motorcycle gang. Which was added a part of the mafia faction. And a part was added, what's it called? The record jobs and stuff. So let's break it down everything. Let's break it down, okay? Like, oof. Okay, for the beginning of from the early days, it was like team deathmatch, etc., 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 etc. Everything was talking about that. Everybody wants team deathmatch. I was around like the early days when stuff started happening. Right, so I was around the early days with the development days of crime started to happen. Uh, with the hype started to pick up for like the business system, the real Easter system, the new city stuff, and all that good good good, good content and stuff. And eventually, just fast forward to the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing, and the next. You know what I'm talking about, right? you fast forward to the years of the beta version to actually, you know, development, improvement, upgrading, typing. Developers are starting to, building, typing. Just say, hey, listen, what we need to do is listen to this is from the early days. This is from 2022, 2023, and 2024. Right, so that was everybody suggested. So we need to get the business system, make sure they're good, fix the game bugs, make sure it's like up and running. Yes, yes. Make sure it's fixed, make sure it's not trash, everything. Make sure it's up and running. Yes, like everything needs to be fixed good before the big hurrah. I'm sorry, the big order to happen over the course for 2025, 2026, which is here we are right now, 2026, with no freaking story. Yes, no freaking story was to end 2026 in April. So we receive an update, but we don't know what it is. Is it a story? Is it to fix the game bugs? Or did the players suggest? Is it a story? Is it to fix the issues when you die constantly? Or did they because hey, we meet a new city, add an extra map to the north side? The north side of the loose plums and just like, hey, to get there, you need to take a plane or a plane, take a plane to get to the northern side of Miami, Port type city. And I actually talked to this girl named Emma, and this is what she said. And I talked to her, and she said, "Where we have a city," I said, "No, it's not. Vice Coast is different from Miami City because Miami City is a big old city with buildings and stuff. If it is, I don't know. Miami City prototype is different than Vice Coast. See, what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, guys, Miami, Miami City is a huge city with cars, buildings, and shops and everything. Shops, guns, waterfalls, and stuff, and gas stations, and all over the place. And I actually suggested, I'm actually one of the players who actually suggested we should just get. I actually want to pray that we should get a new city because Vice City, the 80s and 90s had this. Vice City stories have Miami City, what's it called, the East Side, from the beginning of the game. Know, I mean, what time you City to box off, what's his name, Rosenberg. Like, we says to him, we should go ahead and straight this mess out. And then you play the game, and you start to play the game as him, and you steal the bike for the first mission. And time says, nice bike. From the actual first part of the game of Vice City. So yeah, so some people don't actually know this, like there's a parallel universe that like Part Crime and Vice City and Vice City Stories and San Andreas are actually connected apart from each other. Like I don't know, like we so for example, the remake, the new the, the trilogy was released back in 2022 or 2021, I believe. Because no, I think it was 2021 or 2022, somewhere in between. I don't remember, but I did stream San Andreas. Yes, it's on my channel, but I did finish it. Did I? Did I? I don't remember. It's been a while. So anyway, let's dive let's dive deeper into discussions and deeper into the discussions and stuff. Right? Into the early development for the beta days when you know the first mission, the first mission, the first mission is just when you get out of jail on part-time stories. The beta days, you get out of jail, you meet Big Mike 6, go to the hood, complete the first mission, and it says good job, and you complete it, and you go to the RP, and you can choose what character you want to be. What character you want to be. 7 bullets, blades, to little boys. And then from the forever called like I think for every reason I think the blades are actually hostile towards every gang and these plums. Cause they just are. That just the blades all hostile to not they're not hostile to the the allowance. They are hostile to their enemies. Which I said before, the civil bullets and the mafia who formed the alliance. So this podcast is going to be excellent, fire, and you know disappointing, and people's gonna love it. And basically, I want to get like a stop fight ad with this with all this pop with a stop fight ad with about podcasts and stuff, the streams and stuff, with the black crime stuff, black crime with the black crime podcast stuff. It's gonna be posted there for some people to know where to find it. It was because I had to do a lot of balanced content lately. So yeah, like the early days of the development was going on. Yeah, like the business system, got Vice Coast. That was back in 2022 or 2023. I think it was 2022 or 2024. No, that was 2022 or 2023, I believe. I think like in 2024. No, business. No, because part one was business system. Part one, right, was you need to take over the business. And part two is the military base, which is off in the forest. To make ice and stuff, and sell it to the residents. Sell it to the residents in the street, and we should watch out for the cops in the game. That that was in 2022, 20, yeah, that was in 2023 or 2020, 2020. Yeah, that's in 2023, 2022 or 2023, right? It could be. So 2024 was probably like the most hype. The most hype was still started to pick up. Was still to pick up, and people suggest what's next, what's the biggest, what's next, and what's this biggest, and people and that started to hype it up. We don't know yet. We don't work on it. It's big things. Big things going on behind the scenes that they're to start actually listening. This is this is before actually like 2026. This is when the DEVS dropped the ball on the story mode. Yes, we get to that on 2026. But here I'm talking about like going back in time, like in, so I talk about in 2024, right? So like we don't know yet, but we working on like stuff behind the scenes, the content for stuff. Like, yeah, I was there too around 2024, 2023, 2020. No, I was there like 2023 and 2024, right? So we'll go back to 2023. So 2023 is when the good content started to pick up. And also 2024 we started to pick up with the good old fresh content, good old a big old rack of content was starting to pick up around the mid-ish of the everyday of 2024 of the you know, for the next several months for each year of the lineup from the previous years of you know, previous years of 2023 previous years from 2023 January, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Every year I could keep going forever. Basically, what I'm saying is here we previous years where I start to pick up gold content for the whole drop the whole ball and stuff. And like 2024 and 2025 started to stack up. Started like rack up, stack up, like the scripts, making stories. This is where you know, Resident Evil 9, not Resident Evil 9, Resident Evil Village was like in that time frame that was making the story about loose plums, about the client balls, Michael Caine himself. Yes, the client boss, Michael Caine, who wants to run the city and wants to run a game and his brother Jason. And after there was dropping some information about the story, about the previous content, suggestions, and some information was going behind the scenes, which we purely don't know because we were reading. I was probably like basically us was like, what's it gonna be? And we probably like we probably we don't know like what it's gonna be. Probably in 7 months, 9 months, 2 to 3 weeks. And I'm probably who knows over the next several days of this 2020, 2025 ish, 2023 ish, and 2025 ish. No, 2025 ish. No, because 2023 ish, 2025 ish is when stuff started to pick up. 2025 ish. For your maybe like that, maybe like the so I don't know with me a new city for Vice Coast. No, not Vice Coast. Miami City prototype, and it's just what she said. We might have a new city. She said, "Go ahead and again." And I said, "No." Fight Coast is different from Miami City, because Miami City is huge. Fight Coast is a ocean. Yes. It was about that update when it dropped. And she talked about maybe. You said maybe, and she did maybe, maybe this, maybe that, and she ended up lying about it. And I got pissed off about it. This is nothing. Probably just trash, bullshit, right in ass. It's probably just junk. And I can't agree more. Yeah, I fast forward the whole thing. So here we are. We in 2025. 2025 is right. So basically, I fast forward through. So we fast forward through the whole thing for everybody else. Like we got the new race mode, which is part of the district defense. Territory, and also the territory rework, because I think about that time, like I think somewhere in between like for 2025, around in between like November, 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 November or December, October, November, I think. That's when our RP was starting to shut down. Yes, RP was starting to shut down because it was, I don't know, broken, and bullshit. And yeah, no, because the territory we were didn't release until 2026. At the end, no, not until beginning somewhere in between the 2nd or 1st of January, right? So yeah, I could be right. I could be right in between 1st and 2nd, and then the update didn't drop until like midnight, midnight ish, for every reason. Then more 26 updates got more what is that when developers start typing in more improvements, more patches, more updates, make sure everything started working over the course of January 20, January 2026, February 2026. No, like every week for 2026. Every day through the week of 2026, and every month for 2026, like January 2026, January, not January 2026, February 2026, February 2026, March 2026, April 2026. No, hold on, before we get through, before we say that, yeah, no, January 20, January 2026, somewhere in between, we got good stuff. People forget good old fresh content, patches, and good old, updates. Start to drop over the course several weeks of, of January 2026, even February 2026, even March. And here we go. Guys, ready for moment of truth? Yes. This is today is February, March 7 or 8, right? It's like correct me on this. So so at the beginning of April, this is we got good old kind of, I think beginning or mid, no, not beginning, beginning or beginning, the beginning to second to third, beginning to 10, beginning and next week of April. So that's the 11th. This week, beginning of the April of two 2 weeks on the next day, the next days of the week is where we got good old patch of the week. I'm needing to. I mean, we're not even there yet. I mean, we so we I think April 1st. Oh yeah, we did get the war machine update. We did get the war machine update, combat overhaul, brief overhaul, get all stuff from the previous year. So yeah, I forgot to tell you that. Forgot to tell you guys that. So anyway, we did get the freeze overhaul, which is freeze overhaul in April 1st, right? And another patch was released in a day or so in April, right? Version 1.3. And here we are. Today is April 8-7. Here we are. So let me break it down. Nobody didn't show up in this game for Black Lives Matter. Nobody. There was barely nobody in this game in Black Lives Matter. Not even not even David, not even Rich David Whopper was even in the game. You said this game is done. This game was trash. Even which thing Hasama MD 16 was done. Even my dude was on Instagram said he, he was done because that edge of a white bitch ass messing the thing up from the start. Because as the never update hasn't dropped, we still waiting for a period from where I'm period waiting. Is it a game bug issue that predators have suggest to be fixed in the game Black Lives Mafia? Or is it story related to get back into himself, Michael Kang, the crime boss? Because let me say this, I did say this in my red videos, 2 of them. You can't do this. You just can't you can't these tips Man, they can't do this to us. They can't do this. Previous games, they left us on a cliffhanger with no revelations. Yes, I've been there, right? I've been there, right? Let me say this again. Previous games, they left us on the cliffhanger with no revelation. I can't, I can't think of a game with game that left with everybody of the cliffhanger and with a hateful review of PSP gaming that I saw that he was really pissed. And there was no revelation whatsoever, and that was called for. There was no revelation. There was no explanation. I can't remember. Was it if I went and had like a memory, a flashback back is when I was probably in my mid in my 2023 days, 2023, 2024, 2021 days. I could probably remember. So yeah, these devs they cannot do this. So yeah, let me say this. Let me say this. They cannot do this. You cannot do this to us. You cannot leave us a cliffhanger with no revelation, and you cannot leave a dead game with no. Let me see this. Let me slow down. Everybody's like, this game is dead. It's trash. It's glitch. There's a lack of content. A lack of updates. This game was at its peak as Black Mafia was at its peak. It was at its glory until your devs have dropped the ball. Burn. I found an Ethan Page. I know. Let me say this again. Your devs have dropped the ball on the story mode for Black Crime Stories since the information and file about it behind our backs. And it sucks ass. And these devs, listen up. I have, I dropped, I have given my reviews. One of them, was like, I was pissed because you're trash. You suck at your job. You suck at your job because y'all really are. And the second review of your game is like, please give a story. Please give a story. If this something is story, if the praise, if the dead switch into one of the prayers, if the dead switch into one of the prayers about the story, about whoever who creates the story, it's like, holy shit! If that one prayer is upset that I was, you saw that one of my videos that I was pissed about. That I was pissed about that we cannot be left on the cliffhanger because this is because many games have done uh, with no revelation. Ugh, I can't remember. So let me just say this, Debs. If is this something the is this something that's about fixing the game bug, or if is this something it's about fixing the game bug in the game? I mean, should be pissed. and I'm just it's really upset about it's about fixing that bug in the game. We constantly die, and you hear no music. Or is that bug? So or just on radio once you start hard, and you don't hear the advance will come out in the thing that's like in the GTA games, like living these stories, fight these stories, and you know stuff going behind the scenes, 80s and 90s of the PS2 games. Two, if this update is a story mode, if it's a yes or no, all of us will be happy. The returning players will come back. Visit Robert Hasselman, the guy on Instagram. But if this update is about fixing the game bug, because y'all dropped the ball, and we're back on your word, and just we're back on your word, and just we're going on a cliffhanger with no revelation. This is not it. This is a podcast, a full breakdown, a full. This is discussion. This is like a full lengthy video podcast with no revelation. What with no revelation? What happened on the last mission on mission 3 that we did? It's over. Basically, what I'm saying is, I might probably still play single player. Or probably from my heart, I might still play RP because I think I still have mixed feelings. I've been like, I'm a day one Barkheimer since the early days. Yes, it is. For we end this podcast, we say again, this update about fixing the game bug. All of us will be, all of us will shut it down. If this update is just about the story, we're taking all the returning players are coming back. So, whew, yeah. So please, it was me story, and we need more content and more updates for 2027 and over the course of the next years. Part two of Mafia update over the course of the year. Please, I can keep going, and yeah, until breathe. Peace out, and thank you for watching part one of Barclay Mafia, episode one, about how the devs dropped the ball on the story and went back on their word on it from 7 years ago, on back in January, about giving us more story, a full fledged story, and why about to us behind backs. I'm Taylor Reed. Peace out, and have a good one, everybody. and see you all in the next episode in the future. Hopefully soon. Until we see you all next time. Peace.